Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Surviving Life with your girl Teanna Woods. Today's episode is going to be about sex, marriage, and dating. And yes, I did get some questions for, the You Ask and I Will Spill segment that's going to be now in this video at the ending. So please stay tuned for me to answer your questions how you want it to be answered, okay? If you're new here, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And we just about to hop right into this video, all right? Let's get ready. So I'm not going to hold back on the first segment. We're going to be talking about sex. If you are underage, please do not watch this video. But if you are active, then you can watch this video, okay? And you can give it your little tips in there too. But I'm going to speak from the women's perspective, and then I'm going to go into my experience with being a woman, whatever it could be. I feel like as women, we are so scared because the men put up this thing, oh, if she got this body count, she a hoe. Honestly, anytime a guy says that, I'll be like, ask your mother. But the whole thing about body counts and sex really does not matter, because when you think about it, when you're having sex and you want to, it's an experience for both people to experience. Whether you're just doing it or you doing it because you actually do it with some type of attraction, love for that person, you know what I mean? But my thing is, as women, we need to stop being scared to actually be sexually liberated. And what I mean by that, I mean, don't be scared to actually engage in your sexual activity with your partner or whatever you're doing. Don't be scared and don't hold back. If you feel like you want to experience more, you should be able to experience more. Men be doing Tiffany one day, then they call Karen and do her the day after. Then they want to run back to Tiffany, hit Tiffany back. Then they go run forward to Karen, and then after that, spin the block to Tisha. And I feel like, as women, we should not be judged for doing it at all. If you want to do what you got to do what you got to do. I just feel like when it comes to sex, I feel like people are more focused on body count, where I feel like you should be more focused on, have you been to a clinic? I kid you not. I dealt with a guy in college, and I asked him, when's the last time you've been tested? And he literally was like, you think I'm dirty? You think I'm dirty? Yes, I do think you're dirty, because I need to know, when's the last time you got checked? Because I can tell, you could tell a lot from a person when you ask them that one question, when's the last time you've been tested? And if he's hooped and hollering, he's jumping up and he's like, oh, you think I'm dirty? You think I'm dirty? He is nasty. That means he sticks and moves and grooves in anything that comes past him. I'm not saying you can't go out there and have your fun, and you can't go out there and eat your cake and have your cake and eat it too. But when is the safety precaution of you caring about your life and caring about your body and your health? That says a lot about an individual, a lot. And I feel like if you don't go get tested, you shouldn't be having no sex. What are you doing? What are you really doing? Instead of worrying about how much people you done laid with, worried about how much times you've been to a clinic to know what's going on with your body. Because you could tell a lot. If a person cares about their health, they care about yours. And if they don't, then they don't care about anything. And that just goes to show where we are in society right now, okay? Literally. And women, us, we got to start speaking up. If we don't feel sexually satisfied, there is nothing wrong with you saying what you need to say about you not feeling sexually satisfied. If a man feels a way about you expressing what you need in the bedroom, he ain't the man for you, and clearly he's intimidated. Because all men technically believe that they know what they're doing, and just because you're hitting the back wall does not necessarily mean that you know what you're doing. Because you don't. It's supposed to be pleasurable. I shouldn't have to be feeling in the back wall and it hurt. That don't make no sense. And like Offset said, he said it so nicely, a lot of men have sex for themselves, meaning they don't know your body. And a lot of guys feel like, oh, when they sleep with this girl, if I sleep with Tiffany and I go to Ashley, I'm doing it the same way. No, every woman's body is different. So you got to know what you're doing. If you really care about someone, you got to study and focus on their body and see what gets them into the mood. If you just doing it for yourself, you're not going to give a fuck about none of that shit. You're just going to stick and groove and move and do what you got to do. Get your satisfaction, get your nut off, and go about your business. That's tea. But I feel like as women, do what you gotta do. Do what you want to do. Do what you gotta do. Just be safe and have precaution, and be careful with the guys that you do. Like, not every guy that passed by you gotta, and the same for guys, not every girl that passed by you gotta, there's just certain standards and stuff, you know, that we gotta deal with when we dipping into that stuff. It's getting to the standards soon too. When you first have sex, it's your first time. You can't really compare it to nothing until you actually go out and get new partners. So the first time you do it, you're gonna be like, oh my God, it's so good. But then when you really find someone who knows your body, you're gonna be sitting here like, that was nothing. What was he doing? What were you doing? It's not giving what you thought it gave. When you can compare it, then you know what you like sexually, and you should never have an issue with expressing that to your partner or whoever you're intimate with, because if they care enough, if they like you enough, they'll do the work to satisfy you correctly, and that goes for both parties. Yeah, okay, thank you. To dating and marriage. Ooh, I've been waiting on this phone call all day. For some people, being married is a traditional goal. Is it mine? Not really. Do I see it happening in the future for me at some point in time if I get to the right person and I just feel like there's no other comparison and everything is just good, everything's just great, and I have no doubts in the world about him? Then yeah, if he asks, then of course we can see how this goes. But I feel like people make marriage this big deal, and honestly, it really doesn't have to be this big deal. Like, you don't have to fight to the finish to get marriage. Marriage is not for every and anybody. There is I believe there's someone out there for everybody, but do I think that marriage is something that you should just be in a rush to get? Like, oh my God, I gotta get married. I gotta find this person. I'm pushing 40. I need this. I'm supposed to be here right now. If you would just relax and calm the fuck down and let it attract you on your own, you will get it. But you cannot put pressure on yourself to be somewhere where God don't want you to be right now. Maybe there's something he needs you to fix. Maybe there's something that he needs you to do with yourself. Then you can move on to that category that he needs you to be at. Right now, maybe it's just you need to focus on you. Or maybe you need to go out and experience other people to see what you want in a husband. A lot of people want to get married just to get married. We're not getting married because we want to love this person. We're not married because we actually have a friendship with this person. We just getting married because we pushing 50 and we don't want to be alone. We don't need that. And that leads to a lot of men. Yeah, I said it. A lot of men. You could tussle me in the comments if you want. A lot of men being with women that they don't even fucking like. Okay? A lot of men who are married right now don't like their wives. And it's just like pitiful. How could you marry someone you don't even like? How do you do that? How do you have kids with someone that you don't even like? Stop trying to chase being married. If you want to be married for the right reasons. Don't be married because you feel like time is ticking and you don't got the person yet. Just don't do that, because you're going to end up in a situation that you're not happy. Wouldn't you rather be happy alone or happy dating until you found the right person, when you don't have a doubt in this world that you guys feel the same way about each other and you guys get married? Wouldn't that make more sense? Versus just, the time is ticking and I need a man. The time is ticking and I need companionship. The time is ticking and I need a woman. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't make that the base of your life. And I feel like right now a lot of women are fighting for that marriage spot. And right now, don't even stress yourself out. And another thing is, don't be proposing to no man. Don't let no man make you go crazy to the point where you want to propose to him. And don't ask him what's taking so long for him to marry you. Sometimes he probably don't even see himself with you, and you wasted your time sitting there. But he's not going to say that, though. He's going to sit there and waste your time. Wake the fuck up and smell the coffee, honey. Wake up. This is raw and uncut. I'm not about to sugarcoat nothing for nobody. If you don't like it, that's your business. I'm really keeping it 100 with you right now. And you keep sitting there thinking, oh my God, he's gonna change, he's gonna marry me. No, he's not. If he did, he would have done it by now. Sometimes men just not ready. You can't force nobody to do nothing they don't want to do. Okay? Remember that. Now dating. Okay. Dating. Let's really get into this. I'm really about to go hard on the women, because I used to do shit like this. When you dating, don't put your eggs in one basket. Like, don't. Like, go out there. It's a whole pool of men out there who might just be looking for you, and you might just be looking for them. And you have to date to know what you want. You have to date to know what you like. And I'm sorry to say this, but, like, sometimes they be like, oh, I met him and it was just perfect. But it's like, you met him and it was so perfect, and he's the only person you've been with. You don't know nothing better. You don't know nothing different. So what happens if there's certain things that he has that you don't like? What happens if there's certain aspects that you want in a man that he does not provide? And I'm not saying like you're supposed to get up, jump up, and be like, oh, let me go date around, da da da. But when you're in your young 20s, like I am right now, 24, outside, you know, it's nice to actually go out there and get that experience, you know, so you can be like, damn, the dating pool sucks. You know, this was something good that he has, but this is something better this one have. Damn, I wish I could put it together, but I know I can't. But if I could find someone who checks off both the marks, and you also have to think about the things that you're willing to sacrifice if a person doesn't have that. If the person doesn't have something that you want, because 9 times out of 10, everybody's not going to be 100%. There's going to be like a little 20% that's going to be like, what the fuck? It is life. As long as you can find somebody to mark off 80% of what you need and what you want in a relationship, go for it. But you need to date to know what you like. I commend men on that, because they do it, and they don't do it with grace, but they do it, you know, they do it decently. Just jump into standards. Yeah, standards, because we're going backpedal back to dating, and we're going to add standards into dating. The only way you can build standards is if you date. I'm gonna say it again. The only way you can build standards is if you date. Standards are requirements. That's the only way you're going to be able to see what you like. Because you know how stupid it would be for you to be like, yeah, I'm dating. What are your standards? What are your requirements? And you don't have none. Like for me now, my requirements and standards, family oriented. We have to be family oriented. I'm family oriented, so I need a man who's family oriented. Okay. Intellectual conversations. I want to be able to talk to you about any and everything. We don't always have to agree, but we could agree to disagree. We don't have to agree on everything. I want you to be able to challenge me, vice versa. You know. Appearance wise, I like my men real dark. Dark with white teeth. Am I opposed to dating someone who's caramel, like a caramel latte? No, I'm interested too. My first stand is just like, okay, like I really find it more attractive when I look at a darker man. I'm like, oh, he's so damn fine. Something about that teeth and that skin that just make me want to, you know. But if I see a lighter black man who looks good too, okay, he look good. Now, what the personality given, you know? It's just things like that. And once you get to know them, or you're like, I don't want no man that's cocky. There's a difference between cocky and confidence. So you got to see what type of person you're dealing with. Do you like cocky men, or do you like a man with confidence? Okay, I want a man with confidence because they have more respect for themselves and you. So you want a man with confidence, ambition. I want a man who has ambition. Things like that. You have to date to know what you like. The dating is only going to make you build your standards. And when you go through the certain situations with different men or different women, you'll see like, okay, like this is something that happened. This is a standard that I'm not going to sacrifice. Communication. You have to communicate. All right, I dealt with this one. His communication skills suck. I can't do with that. So now I want someone who's above that with better communication skills, you know? If you don't meet someone's standards, then it is what it is. You can't, wouldn't you rather them tell you like, you know, I don't think this is gonna go good. There's certain things that I need or certain things that I want, and you're not there yet, or it's just like I don't see the compatibility, and that's okay. That's all right. And over time, things do change. Like you could be compatible with someone right now, and then in the next 3 years, y'all not compatible nowhere, and that is okay. You have to take it with a grain of salt, and try not to take everything. Try not to take everything. What's the word I'm looking for? Personal. And don't date with high expectations. That's gonna get your feelings hurt also as well. Let you know that now, for real. Like really, get your feelings hurt. This is going to be the you ask and I spill. Let's get into the you ask and I spill. Okay, the first question is, if your partner doesn't satisfy you, how do you go about it? So back to being able to express yourself in the bedroom. You have to be able to express to your partner what works for you, what you know you like, what you don't know you like, but don't do it in a condescending way. Do it in a more like, babe, like that was good, but I just want to let you know that I want you to like work on this more. I want us to kind of do this a little bit more. I like this more than I like that. And that's okay to say. It's okay to say as long as you don't say it in a condescending way. But most men are men are sensitive, so he might take that like, damn, who she been with that make her da da da. They get in their feelings. They be thinking about that. Us as women, we don't think about that because it'd be like, oh, well, you might, but I know I don't. So it'd be like, okay, you like that? All right, well, if I'm with you and I love you enough and I like you enough, I'm going to work my way to satisfy you, and that's just what it is. Okay, just be able to express that. Don't be able to not express that. You have to express that. But if you feel like you with someone and you can't express it to them, then maybe you shouldn't be laying with them. How do you feel about talking stages? What do you think about it being over 6 months? You have to really, really know someone to be with someone, but I'm be honest with you, you never know someone. Like, when I was a little bit younger, like when I was like 18 and stuff like that, I was like, oh my gosh, like I could be with somebody, but I wanted us to be friends for like so long. Like I really, really know you from the back of my hand, but in reality, you don't know people that well. You only know people only allow you to know what they want you to know. Okay, so if you're dating someone or talking to someone for over 6 months, I ain't gonna lie to you, baby. Keep your options open because he's stalling. I'm gonna tell you how I know that people know who's for them, because my grandfather, this is tea. My Papa Smurf told my grandmother to give him 3 weeks. It was like the 3 weeks or 2 months to cut off all his other girls for her. Okay, and they met on a blind date. Okay, so let that sink in. Let that really sink in. I want you to let that sink in. People know when they want to be with someone. Like, there might be trials and tribulations that happen. People know if they want to be with someone, if they want to do the work. So talking to someone for over 6 months and he's stalling, he's not making no moves, he's not trying to be like, yo, I like where this is going, I want to date you exclusively now. I ain't saying wash your hands. You can keep the access open because humans, we like to have access to people. But what I will say is make sure that you have more than one egg in your fucking cart. Okay, get 12. Keep him on his tiptoes. For some reason, men are weird. They don't like the idea that they have all of you. They want to like be able to fight and be like, okay, like listen, she said that she's talking to this guy, or I could tell that this guy got her time or something going on because she's not communicating with me the way she used to communicate. So now I gotta step my feet up 10 toes more. Keep him on his tiptoes. Keep him scratching the surface. Okay, that's gonna make him a little bit more eager. But then after some point, once he gets tired of that, he gonna be like, damn, bro, like she really not fucking with me. It's gonna play with his mind. Just do that. I know I sound a little toxic, but girl, I had my fair share in my experience to know what the fuck I'm talking about. They keep them on their tiptoes. So do that. And if you feel like you want, if you feel like you know what you want and he's not there yet, you just gotta leave. Just do what you gotta do. Put yourself first. Men have no issue with putting themselves first. Put yourself first. That's all I can really tell you. Do you, and do it with no regrets. Last question, because this segment was going to be quick, because I'm gonna keep this real. I want to keep this podcast real nice, real cute, real short, and I'm only gonna do 3 questions each episode. So the ones that I feel like is good, I'm gonna pick those first. Okay, if you feel away, you feel away. Let me stop. But I'm gonna get to everybody's question one time. Okay, so the next one is what should you do if you feel like you're settling and you're unsure about leaving though? I want you to do this test. This is a test. This is a test of the emergency if you feel like you settling for someone, okay? Go a whole week without talking to him. If you can go a whole week without talking to the person, you're settling. Or if you feel like you keep comparing them to people, or you keep feeling like you can find better, you are settling. If you feel like I am above and beyond and he or she is nowhere near where I am, you are settling. If you have those thoughts, you are settling, and it's nothing else you could do. Okay, but don't play with the person's heart too much, because you could feel like that about that person, but there's someone out there that want that person. So you always got to be like, okay, listen, this is how I feel. And if you tell them and they like, what the fuck, but you don't say that you feel like you settling. Just feel like, oh, I don't feel like the companionship is there. I don't feel like we have compatibility. You gotta be doing it gently. Don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole. It's not nice. Okay, so you gotta break it down like that. Yeah, that's what you gotta do. If you're unsure of leaving, it's probably like you do like them, but it's just something that you feel like's missing, and that's okay. It's okay. Okay, there's nothing that person can do to change that, though. So you have to be able to admit that, and you have to also be able to admit that. How would you feel if you saw them with someone else? Yeah. But you guys, I love y'all, and I'm so happy that you guys watched this episode, and it will be up posted soon, and we will be talking in the next one. See y'all in episode 4. Love you guys. Bye.